just to give a little overview of what I'm doing here, I'm actually improvising over all of these particular checks, basically just making this up as I go. It's a lot of fun. It's a different, obviously you can write songs and and like record the songs and then practice them and play them exactly the way they're supposed to go. And there's a lot of fun to doing that too, actually writing complete songs. But in this particular case, that's not necessarily the most creative thing to do. A lot of musicians will tell you that when you get on stage and you play over the same songs over and over and over again, you really start to just dislike them. I remember reading a basically an article on Guns N' Roses and Slash. They had played the Appetite for Destruction album for I think a year or year and a half before they even got signed, and then they had to re-record the album, and then they had to go on tour and then play that album over and over again. And so by the time we get to see him and we want to hear our favorite songs, if you're a Guns N' Roses fan, you want to hear Sweet Child of Mine, or you want to hear Paradise City or Welcome to the Jungle, they are pretty much sick of playing those songs by the time they come out. Now again, the crowd being excited and having a lot of great fun at the actual show, it makes it all worth it. I've played a lot of the same songs over and over again, but here I get the luxury of kind of just making things up as I go. And again, obviously there's some dangers to that. Sometimes it doesn't go well at all. Sometimes you come up with stuff that you never would have come up with just by trying to write it. In fact, one more quick little story, then we'll get back to the jamming. I read was kind of the anniversary of Joe Satriani's "Surfing with the Alien," and Steve Vai kind of mentioned to him, I think it was Ice 9, I think was the tune. But he said he really liked, when Steve Vai was talking about the album to Joe, he told Joe he liked the whole album, but then he said, man, that solo on Ice 9, that solo seemed worked out. Basically meaning that Joe had worked the solo out and played it over and over again. And professional musicians can pick up on that, but you know what?